what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my second channel. I hope y'all are doing well during quarantine. I myself am not. The past couple of days have been really rough. I've had a visit from this friend of mine. Her name's Depression. She's a real bitch, and the past couple of days have been really difficult. And I don't know, I just woke up today and I was tired of just laying in bed doing nothing, and I really wanted to be productive and like film a video, but I have no ideas for a main channel video. Making a main channel video, it takes a long time, it's a lot of pressure. I just wanted to film something more low-key. Today we're going to be bringing back something that I used to do over on my main channel before I was a commentary YouTuber, and that is cooking with Luke. I have had so many requests since making this channel to do cooking videos with you guys, but I just haven't been doing it because before quarantine I was actually busy, and I've also just been lazy and putting it off because I don't know, like if you've seen my apartment or you know the size of my kitchen, you know all I have is a stovetop and I don't have an oven, and it's just like cooking in this space is not fun for me because there's not much space. I feel very cramped, but it is what it is, and I'm bored. I want to film, I want to chat with you guys. I like filming, it's a positive distraction for me, it entertains you guys. It's a symbiotic relationship. This is a give and take. I'm doing this for both of us, okay? But also I want this to be a series on my channel because I know a lot of you are around my age and you're either moving out of home, you're gonna move out of home, and you just need different ideas of what to cook. I also get lots of questions on how to make good vegan meals, because if you don't know, I'm not vegan per se, but I eat pretty much 100% vegan when I'm at home. The only animal product that is ever in my house is honey, because I'm 100% vegetarian, have been for over 2 years. I'm lactose intolerant, so I shouldn't eat dairy. I still do sometimes, and I just don't buy egg because there are chickens, period, and they kind of gross me out. That being said, I do still have it when I go out, although I always make sure that they are organic and cage-free. But the point is, I'm gonna be making all these videos where I share with you guys some of my favorite vegan recipes, because now and then people eat my food and they say it tastes good, and I've been doing this vegan food thing for a long time, so I think I've come up with some pretty great recipes that you guys should try out. But today we're gonna be doing something that's super easy but super fun and different from like your regular boring lunch. We're gonna be making a vegan pizza because I've been craving pizza, but I don't want to be unhealthy and get Domino's, so we're doing it at home today. And while we are doing this, I am going to be answering some of your guys' questions / giving you advice on some of the things that you asked me, but I thought that it would make perfect sense to talk about the specific subgenre in this video, which is how to feel about gaining weight during quarantine, body image, eating, all that type of stuff. We're going to be talking about food and body image and that type of stuff because a lot of us are feeling that type of way during quarantine because, you know, we can't get out and do our normal things. We're a lot more sedentary, we're bored, so we're eating more. So I think that this would be a great topic for all of us to chat about. And yeah, without further ado, let's hop into it. I feel like this intro has been long enough. Let me go ahead and show you guys the ingredients. So first up, you're gonna need your pizza base. There are much healthier options that you can get than this one, but I'm cheap, so I just get whatever is on special. So this one is just like a garlic and herb pizza base. And then for the cheese, which I've tried lots of different vegan cheeses, and this is by far the best vegan mozzarella I have that I can get at a store, and it is the grated cheese. Now it is a little bit pricey, but usually I just wait till this is on special and then I stock up. And also you can get like a good 4 pizzas out of this. You do not need a lot of it. And then we have our pizza sauce. I am using the Legos garlic and onion and herbs just so it saves you having to like do the herbs yourself. For all of our different vegetables, I am using onion. I'll only be using a little bit of this. Same with the capsicum. I have red and green. We'll only be using a little bit. I know like in America you call these like bell peppers or some shit. And then I have olives. We have some mushroom, and then we have some baby spinach. You can pretty much put whatever you want on your pizza, even if you don't want it to be vegan. I mean, never recommend it is because, you know, whatever, but like it's your life. You can do whatever you want. But that's pretty much all of the ingredients, and we're just gonna go ahead and chop up all the vegetables while I go ahead and talk to you guys about some of your questions. So the first one is dealing with overeating and weight gain during quarantine. Can y'all see me good? Okay, now I am not somebody who, I don't own a scale, so I pretty much never weigh myself because I think it's really unhealthy and it doesn't do well for me. So my first advice is if you have a scale, throw that shit out because that ain't good. Second of all, I would just like to say that like gaining weight during a time like this is totally normal because we're all staying at home, we're all bored. Bored eating is a huge thing that a lot of people struggle with. You know, we're having to stay in our houses, we're having to being a lot more sedentary, and sometimes home workouts are not easy. You know, it's hard to be motivated, it's hard to start doing something that you never used to do before. I would say that if you do want to get into home workouts, I would recommend watching videos of YouTubers who like walk you through it. You can find some really fun ones. Like I really enjoy Mad Fit because she does them to different music, which is really fun, and she just makes it a lot more easy and a lot more approachable and less daunting. But then also when it comes to like overeating and stuff like that, if you have junk food in the house, you're gonna eat it. So I'd say say maybe if you do want to snack, just make sure you're snacking on healthy things. But also drink a lot. Like drink a lot of tea, drink a lot of coffee, drink a lot of, I don't know, hot chocolate, whatever. I think a lot of the times we mistake being hungry or this need to fill our stomach up with food. If you don't want to overeat, you can just drink a lot of tea. That's what I do because it always fills me up. But that being said, even I have been eating, you know, a lot more than I usually do during quarantine because I'm a lot less busy, I have a lot more time, I'm a lot more bored. And then because we're being a lot more sedentary, it's like our calories are going up, but we're burning less calories. So I think gaining weight in a time like this is totally normal. And a lot of people are probably experiencing the same thing. So I would say don't be so hard on yourself. You can always bounce back when you get out of this. And at the end of the day, I think taking care of your mental health is extremely important. Of course, so is taking care of your physical health, but I don't think gaining a few kilos is gonna kill you. So besides that, how have y'all been doing during quarantine? I'm curious because I know for quarantine everybody is different. I have my ups and my downs, but I am really struggling because I live alone. I still see people because in Australia you're allowed to, but it's nowhere near as often as I used to before. And then also just like not being able to go out the house and do stuff, like just being stuck here. If you've seen my apartment tour, you know that I live in like a small studio, which is fine. Like this apartment would be great for somebody who's always out and about and just to like come back as a home base. For like a homebody to like spend so much of their time in like a studio like this, it's awful. Like I'm losing my mind because I can never go to a different space because everything is in the same room. My fridge is in the same room that my bed is in. Obviously there's like the bookshelf to separate it, but like still. So that has been really difficult for me and it's really made me resent my apartment. Like I really want to move. I've only been living here for 4 months and my lease ends a month and a half. So I'm definitely moving. There's no doubt about that. But I just wish that I could move now because I just really want like a bigger space to be able to move around in. And I know that I just feel this way because of quarantine, but for some reason I'm the type of person who associates places with feelings. Like if I've had a bad experience somewhere, I almost get like triggered by that space, if that makes sense. That's why I live a little bit further out from like the town where I grew up during high school here, and a lot of my friends still live there, so whenever I drive back there it's like kind of difficult for me, like just seeing all these familiar places, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's why one of the reasons I have such a strong urge to want to move to Melbourne is just to like to have this fresh start. I feel that way about places that I've lived, and that's why I move so often, because if I really depressed or go through something horrible, I associate it with the place that I had that depression in. I don't know why I'm like that, but yeah. To make a long fucking story short, I've been looking at places and I'm gonna be moving when this lease is up, but I really wish I could move now. But that being said, I am very lucky and very grateful. I know there's a lot of people out there who are living with toxic family members and toxic relationships, so it sucks for those people. Obviously I'm in a better position than those people, but then also I need to remember that my feelings are valid, and I am a little bit, you know, jealous of people who are quarantining with their significant others or with their family, because this is a really isolating and lonely time. Oh, that got heavy real quick. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just cutting up all the vegetables, as you guys can probably see. But yeah, what else? I saw a lot of other questions about like how to be more confident in myself and like not worry so much about my appearance and all that type of stuff. And I think this is super valid because obviously nowadays we live in such a superficial time where people are so focused and fixated on people's appearances, because that's kind of what a lot of social media is built off of. I mean, Instagram, for example, that app is pretty much built off of looks. And then you have apps like TikTok where like, you know, a lot of attractive people do well on the app just because they are attractive. And I haven't really spoken about this, but I went through a really rough stage of my confidence this year in, I would say, February mainly, where I like got on the app TikTok, which sounds so ridiculous that like an app made me feel insecure, but like it really did, you know, because on all of my other social medias, I don't follow quote unquote attractive people on, okay, that's not true. I don't follow people on Instagram just because I find them attractive, if that makes sense. Like everyone I follow on Instagram is because I'm interested in like their stuff or what they, you know, share or talk about, or because I know them. I don't follow people on Instagram because I think they're hot. Because I am bisexual, I'm attracted to guys, but I'm also am a guy, so I would follow guys because I'm attracted to them, but then it would have this other effect on me where I would see them and it would make me feel insecure. So that's why I decided to unfollow all of them. First of all, do that if you haven't already done that. Third of all, when it comes to apps like TikTok, I really went through a stage where I was very insecure. It brought up a lot of different insecurities in me, to the point where I was like literally booking appointments to go to like, not to get plastic surgery, but just to like get cosmetic work done. I ended up not going through with it because of quarantine, and I'm out of that dark headspace, but that's what I'm trying to say is it got to such a dark place that I considered, you know, altering things about my appearance that were going to cost a lot of money because I was so insecure about them. So I've kind of come out of that now. I'm a lot more confident in myself, and that wasn't that long ago. So I feel like I can kind of give you advice on this. And for this, I would kind of just say that you need to realize that you are so much more than just the way that you look. And I know it can feel like that's such an important thing because of social media, but especially with teenagers, because I assume a lot of people who struggle with this, everyone does, but especially teenagers, it's such a time where, you know, people are hormonal and people fixate on appearances so much, but once you get older, you realize that stuff just doesn't matter as much, and you need to find value in yourself beyond just the way that you look, because at the end of the day, you can only control the way that you look to a certain extent, you know? I mean, a lot of it is genetics, a lot of it is luck, and a lot of it is money. Alrighty guys, I already have my oven on preheat downstairs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get the pizza on here. Okay, so some more questions. Somebody said tips on building confidence and becoming comfortable in your own skin. So just to kind of like build off of more of what I was saying, I think it's so important. I feel like a lot of the times that people don't realize, and I figured this out in therapy back in February, is that I felt so low in a lot of points in my life and out of control that I was fixating on my appearance and like looking to control that. And so sometimes you may feel that way, and yes, you may be insecure, but really ask yourself where that's coming from, because sometimes it's not just that you are insecure about the way you look, but there are other factors involved. Like maybe you don't feel fulfilled in other aspects of your life, like your friends, your career, your relationships, so that, you know, you fixate on that instead, because as human beings, we're like hardwired to want to be accepted by society. And of course, society has all these different beauty standards that they place upon us. And then we're hardwired to, you know, want to be intimate with people and want to have a significant other. And a lot of times we think that's just based on the way that we look. And yeah, for sure it is to a certain extent. You first are attracted to the way someone looks, and then you get to know their personality traditionally and all that type of stuff. So I can understand why we think this way, but just realize that there is always someone out there that will be attracted to you. Everybody has different types and different tastes. Something I actually saw on TikTok that I thought was so interesting was somebody talking about how they didn't find themselves attractive, but then they realized that they're just not their own type, which I think is such a great way of looking at it. Like if you don't personally find yourself attractive, just tell yourself, okay, well, I'm just not my type, but I'm clearly somebody else's type. And yeah, I don't know, I used to be like this when I was a teenager. I love how I say when I was a teenager as if it wasn't a few months ago. Ever since I turned 20, I act like I'm an old man. But when I was a teenager, I was in a relationship, and my brain could not fathom that this person was attracted to me, and it would really hinder our intimacy. I would really struggle to be physically intimate with them because my anxiety and my insecurities in my head was just telling me like, oh, they don't want to touch you, they're not attracted to you, blah, blah, blah. Which now looking back, I'm like, that's so incredibly ridiculous. Like, why would they be with you if they weren't attracted to you? And just because you don't find yourself attractive doesn't mean somebody else can't find you attractive. That being said, I think it's super important to deal with all of those insecurities before you get into something with someone, because then if you tell yourself that mentality, then you're just going to look through validation through others. I feel like it's important to have that self-love within yourself. And I think if you can't necessarily feel that way about your appearance, then start focusing on other things. Like, I really like how I'm talented at this. I really like how I do this. Focus on that stuff first, work on the inside, and then that stuff will start to come out on the outside. And I truly, truly, truly believe this, because that's what I have done in my life. And I used to have all these insecurities that, don't get me wrong, like I'm still not 100% confident, but it's just that I think about them less. I still have these insecurities. I don't fixate on them so much. And I know that my worth is so much more than just the way that I look. And it takes a long time to get to this point. I was not always like this. It takes a long time to, you know, grow and evolve and get to this point. But I just think that if you take the things that I just said into account, then it'll really help you eventually get to that point. Yeah, I hope what I'm saying is making sense, because now that I'm like saying it, I feel like it's not, but I don't really know. Maybe this is helping someone. It's also taking me a ridiculously long time to make this pizza because I'm talking so much. I swear this usually takes me like 5 minutes. We just love talking. We love a good gab. Now that I think about it, I was so insecure in February, and now I really am not. Like I look at myself in the mirror and I feel fine about it, you know? I don't know what it is, actually. It's a difficult thing to comprehend, but I just think definitely don't compare yourself to others. Oh God, I stopped doing that. That is just, you know, that's just a waste of time, an absolute waste of time. The only person you should compare yourself to is yourself. And just, I don't know, my biggest thing is just find value in more than just your appearance. I don't understand these people who find value in their appearance, because as you get older, you know, looks fade and looks can only get you so far, you know? Relationships start on physical appearance, but they last on personality. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's all about growth, and it's all about, you know, taking your time with these things and growing up, and it comes as you get older. But you just really need to pick and choose what you're going to focus on when it comes to yourself, if that makes any modicum of sense. We've finished putting all the vegetables on. Just try like spread them out out evenly is like my advice. And then I'm gonna add the cheese. So this cheese actually melts, unlike a lot of vegan cheese, and it melts pretty fast. So you don't need to put a lot of this on here. Don't put like how much you would with normal cheese. Drizzle it over it, if that makes sense. I don't know how they do it, but this one actually tastes pretty good. So this is what it is looking like. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the oven for about 10 minutes, and then I'll get back to you guys. Bon appetit! So I did cook this a little bit too long because I was hanging up my washing while I was doing it, and it's like almost 3 p.m, which is such a weird time to be eating lunch, but my quarantine schedule is like really weird. Lately I just have like 2 meals a day and then just like a shit ton of snacks. So let's get into it. Yes, get into it. Have you seen that TikTok? Oh, okay. So I don't know what to like, do I just like show you guys real close? Like, oh my god, wait, this could be a good thumbnail. Enough of that. I feel like if I can Trisha Paytas it. I don't know, is this gonna be a mukbang? I don't like eating on camera. I don't know, okay. But like, let's try it out. Yo, this is so good. I don't know if there's anything I would have done differently. I'm so happy with the way this turned out. I'd like to be in a place in my life where my mood isn't based on how shit or good I look that day. The way that we look, our outside appearance does affect our mood. I'm the first one to say that. Like if I wake up with clear skin, I'm gonna feel great. Or if I wake up with a bit bad breakout, I'm gonna feel like shit. Like that's just the way it is. Just implementing those same tips I mentioned before, like stop fixating on the way that you look. Stop looking in the mirror. Stop looking at your face so much. Focus more on what you have to do that day. The fact that you have other qualities besides that. Remember that you are your biggest critic. People will more often than not recognize what you are recognizing on your own face. Beyond that, focus on what you can control. If I'm not so feeling confident with my face, I'll put on a really cute outfit and it'll kind of like elevate my mood a little bit more. So I would say focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. Alrighty guys, so I think those are all the questions I'm going to answer today. I just think that in a time like this, don't be so hard on yourself because nobody knew that this whole quarantine thing was going to happen. Just be kind to yourself, be gentle. When this is over, we can all get into healthy habits and healthy routines. But I hope that you guys got some helpful tips from this video and I hope it made you feel less lonely. Believe it or not, it made me feel less lonely even though I'm just talking to a camera. So I'm really grateful for you if you watched this. Hope you got something out of it. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know if you would like me to do more videos similar to this. And I will be having my painting video where I give even more advice on other things coming soon. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe and have the notifications bell on so you don't miss any future videos from me. And as always, my social media is just linked down below if you want to go ahead and follow me. Alrighty guys, that's it for me in this video. I hope that you're staying safe, sane, and healthy. And as always, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you're on the world. Bye.